Guys, today we're going to show you how you take a photo like this and turn it into this. Now, it's a super trendy thing to do right now is to make your photos look vintage, and I think I found the simplest way in Lightroom. But keep in mind that every photograph is different, so these settings aren't the for sure settings to use on each photo, but it gives you the right idea. Just mess with them until you find what you like best with your photo. So let's jump over to Lightroom. Now, this is a photo shoot I did with my boy Alan Gouveia. You can check out his YouTube, it's in the description below, and his Instagram is @AlGouveia. Make sure you give him a follow and check him out. His style goes crazy. So this fit that he incorporated here is definitely 70s inspired. As you can tell by the flared pants, Doc Marten, and the vintage tee. So, as well as a cigarette, he's not a smoker. So we just kind of did that for aesthetic purposes. So let's hop right into the edit. First things I like to do is just bring down my highlights a little bit so nothing's blown out, shadows up, and then I'll bring down blacks a little bit, and I'll go over to my point curve here, and I'll just throw some marks here so I can up the shadows. And you can see it gives that faded top. If you go crazy, you see the difference, right? But it gives you that faded look already. So even like there, it's already faded, you get the idea. And this is where things start to like look vintage already, is when you up the temperature. It gives you that nice look. And then I'll bring down vibrance, just because is in film, vintage, etc. It's not as poppy as it is in digital now. So mess with saturation however you wish. I personally like it about there. And you can already see the difference, like it looks vintage, right? So in my opinion. Now I'll go down to the color grading section here, and you can do what you wish. The big thing to do is make your shadows like teal side, and then the highlights orange, or yeah, orange. So I'll move them over a little bit. I don't like the extravagant one, but I will bring it a little bit to get the shadows at that little teal color. You can see over here the difference of the windows, and then I will do orange a little bit. Nothing crazy here. See about there, I like. And then you can screw around with the blending as you wish. I think I like it about there. And another big thing you can do is you can up the grain. So you see like the clarity is pretty crisp on this, but if you bring the grain up, you see you get like that mad vintage look. So I don't like it super grainy, but I will bring down clarity a bit, but nothing insane. And then that is basically it. And just look at the difference. Like that's already like a vintage look, right? And that was within what, 3 minutes? So to step your game up a little bit, and this is just in Lightroom, you can throw it over to Photoshop if you want to add like a dust layer or stuff to make it look like super filmy. But I like to throw in a nice little gradient filter here, and this is just to add like that little flair to it, no pun intended, because we are doing a little light leak / light flare. And I'll crank up the temperature a bit, and then exposure. You already see it, it's like a light leak, right? That film has. Nice little aesthetic here. About there. Bring down highlights, maybe just a little bit. And then I'll change the color over to like an orangey. And again, like I said, every photo is different, so just mess around with it until you get exactly what you think looks best, and because that's really all that matters. Art is subjective, and photography is definitely a good expression of that. So, and I'll mess with the exposure a little bit more, and then I'll maybe add a second one over here. Definitely not like that. Like right beside it around there, and then I'll just bring everything back down so you get like it looking back to normal a little bit here. So like, and you can do it with or without the light leak. but my personal touch, I like it. So that's basically how you make a photo look vintage within 5 minutes. It's super easy. If you use Lightroom, just know this is crazy easy. Now there are presets you can buy, people's presets, but like I said, every photo is different. So when you get their preset, it doesn't work with every photo. And if you just want to spice your photo up a little bit, like this look right here is what we were going for. We wanted a vintage look, so I want to make the edit a little more vintage than how it looks right off the bat, right? So there it is. That's how you take a photo and make it look vintage within 5 minutes. All right, guys, and how easy was that? Now, just a little disclaimer, I am saying once again that there are better ways to do it. I'm just saying this is the easiest way that I found personally. So if you have any recommendations for myself, I'm always open to hear. And if you do use this edit at all, make sure you tag me on Instagram, and I'd love to check out your work. Stay creative, guys. I'll see you Sunday.